Someone tagged me in this, which I thought was very informative. It's less about whether you agree or disagree with the topic. What it does is it shows how a lot of people are sheep. A lot of the average person will just accept a narrative without ever looking into it with any sort of depth, and they will actually just perpetuate it. Like they'll continue to say it no matter how false it is, no matter if it's a warped reality. Someone did a great job of tagging this, and this is a recent a survey that was done by Skeptic Mag. And they asked, it was respondents estimate the number of unarmed blacks killed by police in 2019. So basically what they're doing is the people that respond to the survey, they're asking you to just up and guess. They were asking them to just guess what the actual, number of unarmed black people killed by the police is. Over 44% of liberals guessed 1,000 or more compared to 20% of conservatives. This calculation is based on the crosstabs right here, which, so if you go to this, you can see this a thread. It's a very insightful thing. I wish they document. And as you can see, it says, according to mapping police violence database, the actual figure is, we're talking about 27. This is talking about unarmed, obviously. And it says, further, the average liberal responded also thought that a clear majority of the people killed by the police in 2019 were black. In actuality, roughly a quarter were. So while that is comparative to the population, while that is still above what they represent in the population, is it racism? Is it lifestyle? Is it, again, that's a conversation that's worth having. Worth adding that this pattern of results is likely more general than specific to estimates of the police homicides. For instance, in the study below, liberals significantly overestimated the number of black job resumes per callback. So basically what it is, and what this does break down, is how the percentage of the people that were liberal, they were guessing, they were very overstating the numbers. So they thought that this was what it was, and like all of them weren't really, accurate. Like the closest one is right here. They're just regular conservative. The person that identifies as very conservative. This was the closest to it. Liberals obviously thought that it was more, but it was not. They're not even anything close. It's rising as it goes to the left, and they're incorrect. See, I'm not here to defend police killing unarmed black people. I have no desire to do that. I'm an anarchist. You know, you ain't never heard me sit up here and defend police for being out in the wrong, for feeling like they want to shoot someone over some dumb shit. Not at all. You'll never catch me doing that. What I'm more so wanting to point to is how people's, like, someone tagged me and they said like perception versus reality, which was a good way to word it, right? So it doesn't matter where you're at on the issue. I don't even care to dispute that right now. That's irrelevant. What it more so is, what I wanted to point to, is the fact that people see the world through a lens that isn't an actual lens. Now, why is that the case? Okay. Is that because of media figures? Is that because life, like the people that they're around, academia? Like, I think all of it has something to do with it. Why? Quite often when it comes to this particular issue, it's overstated. And the reason why that's important is if you do care about the subject matter, the fact we can't address it honestly is the problem, right? It's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to this particular topic, because everybody has their sort of personal social agenda. So acknowledging facts is not even within the realm of reality. So this is why the conversation is always derailed, because it's not like anybody's coming to it honestly. It's a purely emotional response that is, okay, I will make the data agree with me, versus does the actual data, is it presenting this particular narrative, right, that I believe? And again, this isn't even about why that's the case, right? If 25% is still an overstatement from the 13% of the population that they make, yeah, but it's not nearly as high as what they were saying. but they guessed that was what it was. They got the number wrong, and they got the percentage is not even close. But because that's what they believe, that's what they believe. See, you wonder why I hate, like, obviously democracy. It's a stupid concept that does not equal freedom. Unfortunately, academics, I have done a great job in convincing people that democracy equals freedom. But there's a lot of stupid people out there, okay? A lot of ill-informed people that get to vote, unfortunately. And this is why the fact that people try to conflate that with freedom is just complete nonsense. But these people, the average person is stuck on stupid when it comes to politics, social views, or anything. Like, they don't know. It's like, what were you told? And see, the thing about that is I would rather, and this is why I always say, every person is ignorant. I'm always giving you one of my sayings, but here's another one. Every person is ignorant. The ignorant person, though, becomes stupid when they knowingly speak on something that they know that they're ignorant on. So there's a lot of stupid people out there. See, there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know. Right? There's nothing wrong with saying that at all. Like, people ask me about comic book stuff all the time, and there's certain, it's like an encyclopedia up here, but there are some things that I don't know, particular things outside the lens of Marvel and DC. I don't know. So you'll hear me actually say, I don't know, man. Like, that's not anything that I'm really into. I don't know. I don't remember that arc. I don't remember. I'll tell you, I have no problem doing that. For some reason, maybe it's social media, a lot of folks feel as if they always have to have an opinion on something. Quite often on this subject, you have a lot of folks when it comes to unarmed black people being killed by way of the police. Everybody got a position on that. It feels like they have to speak, again, their narrative into fruition. So never mind actually bothering to look at, because this data is public. They could take the time out of the day to go look at this information and actually figure out what these are. They shouldn't have to guess. But I'm willing to bet, specifically with these very liberal people, some of them are activists. And some of them have been perpetuating a narrative that is just utterly false. Now, again, doesn't mean that you can't condemn police in error. Absolutely. You can, but you can also acknowledge truth, because that's how you get to a solution. You don't get to a solution by way of trying to be dishonest to reach a conclusion. That's not how it works. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people have done. But this was a nice little experiment. A nice little thought experiment, but more so, I'm glad that I got tagged in that, because it's interesting to see versus what actually is, or rather what actually is versus what they see or what they want to see. And quite often the lines get blurred with some of these guys, and they think that what they want to see is what they actually see. And that's a recipe for disaster.